Article 3 of the Constitution of India provides the union government, it empowers the union government with power to alter any state within the territory of India. It can also alter any union territory which is falling within the territory of India. That is to say, it can restructure by demarking or decreasing an area from a state, or by cutting down certain areas or certain enclaves from 2-3 neighboring states in order to create a new state. Or it can add up certain areas of a neighboring states of a union territory in order to create a new state of that union territory. It can declare a union territory as a state by its existing territory or by adding upon additional territories, adjoining additional territories in order to form a state. So, by virtue of Article 3 of the Constitution of India, the Union of India is empowered to alter the structure of the states and the union territories. We must first understand that while formation of the states took place in India after the Indian independence, the demarcation, the creation of states was based on linguistic entities. Most of the states are created by linguistic identity. So when I say linguistic identity, it is also cultural identity, because language in India is not just a language that is spoken in that particular state, but it also is an emotional, it is a cultural affiliation that people have got towards its language. So this is clear that the states were created on linguistic lines. Now, in this scenario, by virtue of Article 3, when union is empowered to alter the state's territory, what is the safeguard that the state or the union territory has got to safeguard its domestic local interests? So when a state is bifurcated by virtue of Article 3, it is reorganized by virtue of Article 3. If it is separated, if a state is separated into 2 parts or 3 parts on the union's decision, so there is a question that what is the safeguard that the states have got? What is the control mechanism that the state has got? The first safeguard that states have got is it's people. It is the power of the people who are emotionally attached to its language, to its culture and to its boundaries. So when union is taking a stand, it has to be the consent of the overall people of the state. Though by law it is not, but by emotion. It is the emotion that drives the politics, it is the emotion that drives the government in India. In a democracy, like in a larger democracy like India, it is the emotion of the people that drive the government, that drives the elections. Therefore, before taking any decision, the union will be bound, will be forced, will be obligated to respond to the sentiments of the people of the particular state. This is first safeguard. Though it is not a law, but this is the first safeguard. I would say this is the first safeguard. The second safeguard is the union will not be in a position to present any bill in either of the houses without the recommendation of the president. So when the union is not empowered, cannot present a bill for the bifurcation, for the demarcation, for creation of a new state, it has to be backed by the recommendation of the president. So this is the second safeguard. The second safeguard is the president has to recommend, and if president has to recommend the union to present a bill in either of the houses, before that president has to get the opinion of the concerned state legislative, that is the concerned state government which is likely to be affected by the bifurcation of the territories, need to give its opinion, its consent or its opposition in case if such demarcation, decreasing or adding the territory is done by the union government by virtue of Article 3, then what are the pros and cons and what is the effect that is it is going to cast on the affected state. So therefore this is another safeguard. So until the president is satisfied with the opinion of the concerned state or states or the union territory in question that is likely to be altered in its territorial jurisdiction, until the president recommends for a presentation of a bill in either houses of the both houses of the parliament cannot introduce any bill